are live. Y'all know what it is? yo, scoot over a little bit. All right, okay. We just have to sandwich y'all, you know what I'm saying? Yo, we are live. Yo, welcome to Tight Beat, a producer podcast live from outer space in Unapologetic Studio. I feel like I got the phrasing mixed up, you know what I'm saying? But this Tight Beat is a producer podcast where we, as producers and engineers, get on here and talk about whatever we want to. But it's mostly related to producer, engineer speak, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, we are missing I Make Mad Beats, but we got him, you know what I'm saying, represented. Got to put on the mask real quick one time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Juan, November 16th.
Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all get y'all tickets, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's about to be crazy. He's performing in the planetarium. Album release is going, bro.
Crazy.
Fam, y'all just have no clue. It's gonna be crazy. Should I go ahead? I mean, y'all see the little thumbnail, Junt? Well, how do I point? Yeah, y'all see it. Y'all see it right here. Y'all see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I Make Mad Beats is out celebrating the birth of Marie. You guys don't know Marie, but Marie is first and foremost I Make Mad Beats' wife, and a backbone of this company.
Yes.
The front door. Anytime that you're emailing, management or info, whatever, she's usually the person that you're speaking to, making sure the calendar for the studio and all the stuff we got going on stays in order. So happy early birthday, Marie. We're going to celebrate with you later today. And, so he's out doing that. And but we are the Cash. Y'all know who it is.
Yeah.
I am Kid Maestro, and behind me we got...
yeah.
C Major.
LJ1S, what up?
Yes, sir. All right. Yeah, apologies for the late start. We had some very serious technical issues, but we got it worked out because, you know what I'm saying, we can figure out those things. But yeah, it definitely caught us off guard. Had to make some real adjustments, but we are here and we got topics. I'm very excited to talk about them. But what are they?
Yo, so of course one of the GOATs in the music world, Quincy Jones. So we're gonna speak on Quincy, and then being that we're short on time, we only have two. But it was a clip that I seen with Academics, man. If we bring up Academics' name, it's some shit involved. Well, basically, this man said producers shouldn't have an opinion. They shouldn't have a personality. We should just shut the fuck up and make beats, pretty much.
Shut up and make the beat.
So yeah, man. I feel like that's going to take some time. So let's just start with Quincy, bro. Of course.
R.I.P. man.
Yeah, rest in power. I don't know where that comes from, but I really rock with that phrase, rest in power. But also rest in peace because,
That nigga work hard as fuck.
Exactly,
bro. So
I was watching. I didn't mean to. I know you good, but I was watching a compilation of some of his interviews today. No. Well, I was doing that, and then that led me to watching his interview on I Am Other with Pharrell and whoever else is on that show, and they asked him which decade, because he's been in the game 60 years, right? 60 years in the game. They asked him which 10-year period did he work the hardest, or was any of them easy or whatever? And his answer was, he laughed and said all of them. And he constantly, even in the compilation and that interview, he constantly emphasized the importance of hard work and knowing what you're doing. He multiple times he mentioned that making music is always a left brain and right brain process. It's the emotion and the science, right? And he said you got to know what you're doing. You got to show up knowing how to put the things together, because we only got 12 notes, but all these greats use those 12 notes because they understood the emotion and the science. He was really big on that.
Nah, right. When you really think about that, just 12 notes and what you get, bro, that's Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, and so now he was big on the
Niggas
hard
need
work.
new notes, bro. What's up,
Bro,
bro? He got 12.
he
That's
only got
crazy.
12, bro.
12 notes. You know, and obviously that's a
Yeah, you
Right,
know.
yeah.
But you know, even like you know, you just think about all the classical music and those pieces, all the way up to you know what he was able to do with those same 12 notes. Like that's I don't know. That's just nothing short of amazing, and it was so inspiring, and it just was it was sobering, honestly, to just like look at the gap in what I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then look at the gap of that level of excellence and the mindset,
Right,
and like
right.
the emphasis on knowing how to really speak music, not just a type of music, all music.
Bro.
You know, that was another thing that he spoke a lot on was like how much he said from the beginning we knew how to play all types of music, and so like he would be Pharrell would be asking him questions about the Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson. What made you do this? And he'd be like, yeah, those are bebop chords. I learned that from this, and then just recontextualize it into like pop records, and it was like, man, that's real. Got to know the science and the emotion.
Yeah, that's
Say
crazy.
he spent 28 years learning
Man,
that. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
man, all right.
yeah. So, man, I'm just so inspired by Quincy, man. Like, it's just I don't know. Like, I feel like he is just when you hear him talk, he's like the definition of. He just reminds me of like humility. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that like when you hear him talk, he just is so open about the mistakes.
Yeah, true.
That he's made and the things he did wrong. You know what I'm saying? And just I don't know. It's just big on that. He's just really big on that. But it just rolls off of him. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you shouldn't have done that. We did this. You shouldn't have done that. It's just like, I don't know. He's very, and maybe that comes with experience, but he's just very in tune with the presence of life, as well as what it takes. Like it just seems like nothing surprises him anymore. But there's always something to discover.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like life works how it works. You know what I mean? There's principles to it. There is a formula, I guess. You know what I'm saying? If you put in the work, you know, like you put like a simple one, like if you put in the work, it'll work.
Yeah. I mean, what they say, you get in what you get out.
You know,
you get out what you put in.
Yeah. And for all the little lessons or tricks to life like that, it feels like he's got a handle on it. You
really
would
does.
at 91 and traveled the world multiple times and worked with the greatest creative minds ever, but it's just inspiring to be able to have that.
I feel like Quincy was his track record. I feel like he's like the ultimate producer in a sense. Like,
definitely.
What hasn't he done? You know,
who better?
That's like, what hasn't he done? Who hasn't he worked with? Like, again, even when we were discussing this, we were just talking about how like this man was on before he was on.
Yeah,
like he started young as hell, killing the game. But like to the point where he didn't truly, I guess, cross over mainstream wise until he was like 40, 50 years old, which is a wild statement in the sense of a
I feel
producer. You know,
I feel like me and Kid both. Weren't we on a road trip or something? We were on a road trip somewhere, probably St. Louis.
I think it was Atlanta.
Atlanta is somewhere. And his documentary had just came out on Netflix, maybe or somewhere. And of course it's Quincy Jones. He's like, we finna tap in.
Got to.
But we had no idea. I knew Mike and you know in past. Like I knew from Mike to all of that. But I had no idea Vibe, Color Purple.
Bro, exactly. He been out here.
He was playing horns for what was he was writing for? What's the guy named there? Sinatra. Like
but that was before Mike.
That was before.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's why I guess that's why I was saying like he's been out here, but like
literally everything he touched is gold.
No, Ray
crazy.
Charles,
crazy.
Stevie Wonder, like literally all.
Bro, like what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It
all
was
the
really
Motown
insane.
writers. Yeah, and it's interesting because, you know, just the way you put it, that he was like that he hadn't really hit that mainstream until Thriller, basically, And
which is a wild statement.
Bro, he didn't
I
even
don't
want to
know,
do
bro.
that shit. I feel like he was, but I definitely think he was a if you know, you know, bro.
Really, I
Like
feel like Frank Sinatra was kind of like the
Think that was
yeah,
him?
but
like probably one of the biggest like pop stars ever.
yeah, but Quincy wasn't.
It's
I don't
doing a
know if
great
Quincy
job.
was getting that credit like that.
That's
Like
what I'm
Mike
saying.
knew who Quincy was, but I don't know if fans of
The
Mike
world,
knew who
yeah.
Quincy was.
I feel like people did because you know by the time you know Mike met Quincy or they had that first interaction working on the Wiz, and you know Quincy had done I think 2 films by
Yeah.
that point.
He
And
was
so he was
he
you
was
know what I'm
on
saying?
his
Like, I feel
Right,
like
he was on his shit, but I'm saying that's like
but think about the Wiz though. The Wiz was star studded
True.
like you know.
but
what
did
I'm
they
saying?
know? But did what did?
And that's what and Quincy was chosen because they
Yeah,
felt that he was
the
that,
industry knew.
Yeah, exactly.
he
The
was that
industry
level.
knew.
But did
the
a
average
nigga
listener,
watching Wiz
they didn't
know Quincy? That's what I'm saying.
I guess.
And I feel like
mm,
Mike took, and
I feel-
I still don't.
When did he put out his first record?
Quincy.
Yeah.
Before that, for
Way
sure.
before that.
When did he put out? When we need
So yeah, we could be right. We really
yeah.
need a historian because it might.
I'm wondering if like because now I'm wondering did anybody really know Quincy when Thriller came out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
But he did have
was-
his own
was-
records. He
Yeah,
did
he
have.
been out here, but
Yeah.
I think like you were saying, like just the common fan. I feel like just like now we have Instagram and social media, so I feel like him getting with Mike kind of forced him to push himself more out there in the
Yeah.
spotlight
yeah.
of being the front guy.
I agree. I agree with that. But it's just making me think that like you know, if he had never put out any of his own songs, right? Yeah,
You gotta work on that.
Yeah,
I
like-
just look like oh.
if he had never put out any of his own songs, because I don't know what impact his records had
Right.
before or after Thriller, to be honest, like socially.
Yeah, he definitely got some bangers. He got like
Yeah.
some.
No,
some
He got,
For sure.
he got some, but I'm saying like in terms
the
of
Bossa
at-
Nova joint, right?
At the
He
time,
had some crazy
at
shit.
the time, and I don't know when those came out in regards to like the whole Michael Jackson stuff.
Right.
But like, what I'm asking is at that time, like you know, when Thriller came out, did people care about the producer at that time?
Yeah,
I know people cared about the producer like when Timbaland and all that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering did people care about the producer back then?
I really don't know. I want to say they did because you had the Berry Gordy's and stuff like that. But I'm thinking from like an industry.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think the
perspective.
average fan
Yeah.
cared.
Yeah. So that's what's making me wonder, okay, how long let's just assume that the average fan wasn't checking who the
Right.
producer was, right? At what point then did that matter for people to start checking with Quincy? I'm honestly wondering if it was just kind of after everything Mike did, and then people are like
At
telling the
right.
story of how it happened, and then you got this guy Quincy.
At least from my perspective, and of course I wasn't around throughout his entire run, but from me learning about Quincy, it was definitely came to. I felt like Michael was pushing him in the front, like, no, Quincy's the guy. Quincy's like it was Mike putting Quincy on that pedestal that allowed people like to see who he was, and it kind of made him to step out. Like you're being talked about a lot. Like you're the guy. People are looking for you now. Like so, who are you? And of course, he already had a track record, which was crazy. But Mike being the face is just no difference than 40 and Drake. Like until Drake came out, it was like 40. We would never knew who 40 was. We probably would have.
I agree, but I'm just wondering when that happened.
Yeah.
Like when was it while Michael Jackson was still like putting out records and work, you know what I'm saying? Or was it when everybody was like,
I guess it
let's go tell the
depends.
story
I
of
guess
Thriller?
it depends on what's the measurement. Because if we're comparing like star power, even to Mike, Quincy never reached that. Like Quincy still is a very much so if in relatively to Mike or if you know type of like he's very much so some Rick Rubin like Travis Scott had him in the Out West video. He was like the main subject of that Out West video. I wonder how many people knew
Quincy Jones one?
Yeah, Quincy Jones, banging out. Yeah, that's what song called. Yeah, Out West. Yeah, he was in
I
the.
think I seen that video, but
Yeah, he was in it. He was like the man. it starts with like somebody knocking on the door, and it's like a first person view. I think it turns out to be Quincy at the end or something like that. But it was crazy. It was a crazy flex. That's how up Travis Scott was at the time too. Like that nigga was just up as fuck. He's still up, but like that was an unprecedented time. But anyway, he was in that joint, and I remember watching that video. Like I wonder how many people know. Who get it? Because the whole video was like, what's going on? And then at the end is Quincy, and I was like, oh, bro, this nigga got Quincy Jones in the video. But I wonder how many people, Quincy Jones. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people can. Like I'm not saying he's unknown, but relative like you can go to fucking Siberia and hold up a picture of Michael Jackson, and somebody's gonna go crazy, or LeBron, or any of the star power. So I wonder if we're comparing it, did he ever get to that point? But I do think Mike took him over the edge. Yeah, Mike's star power rolled over, which is crazy because Quincy didn't even want to do this shit. Quincy didn't even want to work with, bro. He was like, I give him a chance.
Which is crazy.
But that's how lit.
It was like a challenge. Like I feel like I heard something on like, I feel like somebody said you can't make this guy any bigger. Yeah. And he was like, all right, watch me.
Well, yeah, well, the thing we watched is he said Michael Jackson just bugged the fuck out of him and he was annoyed.
Yeah. I'm saying, but somebody like
challenged him.
While he was working with, he was like, yeah, you can't make it. This is Michael Jackson. This is pretty much it.
Yeah.
And Quincy was like,
what the fuck you talking about, nigga? I'm Quincy Jones, but that just shows you like he knew who he was, even though the world didn't.
He definitely valued himself, and he didn't need the validation because that nigga was going stupid.
That's something he said in them interviews. He's like, yo, not 1 ounce of my validation comes from somebody else, like at all.
True.
So you got to know who you are, which is obviously something we champion, is being unapologetically yourself, which comes from a level of self-awareness. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he knew who he was. He knew what God had given him, and he knew that he developed it as well.
It's crazy.
So,
man, salute to Quincy,
bro. I be thinking about Quincy Jones, and the main thing I be thinking about is just like how many interviews now, and just like you can hear in some of the Mike videos. And obviously, Michael Jackson probably not gonna go as hard because he had so much respect. But you hear Quincy Jones like in interviews talk about like, yeah, Michael wanted to do this, and I was like, man, hell no.
Right. I see that.
He wanted to do this song, right? You know what I'm saying? And it would be like some crazy, like the strings on
yeah, but it worked though.
Like he would say stuff like, yeah, you don't tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he was very like back in those days. It was like, nah, the producer is in charge, and that was his personality, which makes me think about what we was going into.
Yeah, like, I mean, if it's weird because, bro, like I don't understand why Act would even say something like that about the producer. Like opinion doesn't matter, or like it's just a wild statement because again, as a producer, we're hired because of on some Rick Rubin shit because of our opinions or because of what I know.
Okay, so I feel like the context of that though was like some just like non-musical. No, actually, I feel it was about. I feel like it was about like the whole Tim's Drake and Future.
We just switch topics if y'all don't know. We talking about academic. Can we pull up like just a little clip and
I'll
play it over the mic?
Because if I'm not mistaken, it was about ATL Jacob talking about like, yo, Tim should have been grateful and said something because we gave her that record, and Drake he was on, it was like that kind of.
But thing. even though to be on some, I'm play the clip. Hold on, this is just a wild statement.
Yeah, I heard it here.
Like, I've also said about ATL Jacob, like, bro, I believe you on what you're saying because I've kind of heard the same thing too. Only thing I would say is that nobody wants a talkative producer. A talkative producer, nigga, you're gonna make slaps, nigga. You better be so hot you could talk shit because producers, y'all not supposed to have no personality and no opinion. I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? You know how many producers hit me behind the scene talking shit about people, and I said, come on stream. They would never. You know why? They're not the artists. They live off placements, so they can't really pop and shit unless you get to that point. Southside at times could pop and shit. Granted,
but he said at times.
Okay, so the backstory is that the Tim's record, the I will whatever for you, that sample.
It was like a sample.
Yeah, I know.
And basically, Like
She wasn't
somebody
fucking with
wasn't
it?
clearing it, like you whatever. And then Drake had to ask her, and then she cleared it. And he was basically saying, man, we made this record pop. You know what I'm saying? You should be grateful, whatever. But and just saying that she was on Drake's, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And it just be, you know, it was that kind of thing. And he was, and then so academics was saying like, I feel you, that might be true, whatever. But like, you know what I'm saying? Then he said,
But shut the fuck up.
That's still crazy though. But like, nigga, what? I'm part of this as well. I don't have a voice. Like,
yeah. I mean, so I think part of it is like, I feel kind of what he's saying in the sense that, and this is the part where I feel like I feel what he's saying. It's just in that like, yo, in a more general sense, not necessarily related to producers, people would definitely be like talking shit and not stand behind it. Will not get on a stream and air those things out, right? Because honestly, what he said is true. A lot of people, like, it's a relationship game.
It
so
is.
you know, people are playing the game, so they won't stand or take a stand or be public about certain things because they want to make sure they're not burning bridges and get a jump open, whatever. Where typically artists don't take that approach.
You know, and that's what I was just gonna say.
They're willing to
be controversial.
Yeah, to be controversial in that way.
I would disagree.
You don't think? I feel like
if it was like a scale, rappers versus producers, like that's definitely more like expected of a rapper than a producer.
But I mean, I don't know. I think
feel like the industry period is the same game. Producer, artist, regardless of what, it's a relationship game. But rap is used to be. I guess it still is. We just had a monumental Kendrick and Drake beef. But rap is a super relationship. I feel like I feel like a whole lot of I feel like J. Cole, J like it's a lot of people that like.
It is a relationship. I agree, but I'm saying I do think that rappers are more willing to burn a bridge than producers are.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like they're not afraid of losing whatever that relationship can get. You know what I'm saying? Versus a producer because a lot of times, of course, their brand is important, but like being blackballed as a producer, I don't think is the same as being blackballed as a rapper.
I think it also just depends on who you are.
And I feel like that people are afraid of that. Being blackballed might not be a thing in general, but like there is a risk associated with it.
Yeah, I think it's who you are, and like, cause I mean, even though it's kind of different because Kanye is a producer and an artist, but like, if you have that star power, like you said, you speak.
Yeah, he was saying ATL Jacob.
Yeah, that's basically. I feel like that's for one. I think in a small nutshell, I think Ek is he just be trying to say shit. Just gonna get like clicks and views. That was very much like clickbait coming. But I think he do feel that way. But honestly, I do disagree with him. But I don't 100%. I don't 100% like the idea that we have to have first. I don't be wanting to talk. I don't be wanting to like. I really do miss the era of producers where we were behind the scenes, like where like I always say to myself, like, my favorite era producer and where I would have loved to be was Kanye West before, like, College Dropout. like Kanye West as a producer, with Rockefeller and Beanie and all of them is, like, my, like, 2002 career goals, bro. Like, that's all I, like, ever wanted. I didn't want to, I hate that we have to have, like, I think Act is the wrong as fuck, like, it don't matter what you do, nigga. I don't care if you're trying to sell papers. Like, you have to have you got to be able to talk. You got to be able to have a personality. You got to have an opinion. Whatever you got to have an opinion about. Whatever, everything you got to be able to weigh in on. Like, I hate this shit. Like, I just want to make. I just want to make
really
beats.
Right now.
I just want to make beats in the closet, bro. And then Pro go speak and talk about the shit. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like.
I feel like academics agrees with you, man. He feels like that's the way it should be. And then when these producers be having opinions and whatnot on rap beef.
Yeah, but also at the same time, like, I do understand the importance of it. Like, especially now, bro. Like, we just talked about this last week, bro. Producers carrying, we've been carrying for a long time. Like we definitely got to pop shit. Like
I mean, I just think about it. If producers just didn't say anything, we wouldn't be on type beat right now. Like there wouldn't be a producer podcast or engineering podcast. We wouldn't care about any of this. Like,
I mean,
I don't think what would they really talk about because we're so concerned about
producing and
saying
engineering.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we speak
They talking about beef.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think like producer talk for sure. I definitely think
But that's what I'm saying.
Ak
We speak on a lot of different things, not just producer talk all the time.
Now we talk, and as it should be. And I think Ak is on some like niggas shouldn't have like strong niggas shouldn't have strong opinions. Niggas shouldn't have like, which I don't think you can say that of anybody. Like that's just weak as fuck to.
Yeah, and I also
about.
think it's crazy to still in this day and age feel that the only way a producer can survive is through an artist, which. Like for him to say like you live off of placements, like you chasing, you have to be for like that's not true.
Yeah,
Like that's
it
not the
is
game.
for a lot of
It
producers
could,
though.
but
I mean,
it
if that's the game you're playing, but like that's not necessarily like that's the only way for a producer to live is to work with these
right,
artists.
and
et
that's what
cetera.
he's saying. You gotta be Southside. You gotta have the type of brand that can withstand a career without placements. And he was insinuating that ATL Jacob is not that guy. And most producers don't.
You are not that guy. Shut up, bro. That's wild.
Yeah,
like,
it really feel like he got a personal beef with ATL
that's
Jacob.
what, because what?
Me-
bro?
and honestly, like, it's the whole, like, I can't remember. We would just have to go back and see what academics said about, the sentiment of shut your hoe up and make some drums. Like, Metro, you know what I'm saying? Like, is he in agreement with that? Did he feel like Metro Boomin doing what he did was stepping out of bounds, or if Metro Boomin got the type of brand
Probably
for that?
did, because he a Drake fanboy.
Drake slobber.
Right. But that's a different conversation. I don't know, bro.
Yeah. And, and it's crazy because up until that point, up until what Metro did, what he did, I feel like all of us had a sense of like, bro, if a rapper dissed one of us, we would really know exactly what to do.
Hey, Metro set the blueprint.
Exactly. Like,
He set
but
the
you see, you
blueprint.
got to think about it. Like, when it comes to like beefs and stuff, we don't even really have. Until that point, we didn't even feel like we had proper leverage to like
to
stand
say
up for
anything.
ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
In a sense, it's really what academics is saying is not baseless. It's just maybe a little bit short-sighted. You know what I mean? And
I think it's extremely short-sighted.
Yeah.
And I think it just puts the battery in the back to be able to set yourself up to be one of them producers. Cause that the reality of what he's saying is true for, like, that is a thing for some producers. And I'm not saying it's ATL Jacob or who it is, but that is a reality, and that is a whole that we chase. As a whole that I was chasing, like, it's the placement is the end all be all, the record sales and all that is the end all be all, but the record sales due to Drake, or you know what I mean, or something, something else. And so I feel like it just put a battery in your back to like set yourself up to not rely on that, and to have your own artistry in whatever way you choose to do it.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to picture a nigga telling Quincy, bro, shut the fuck up. You shouldn't be saying like what?
Yeah, he not one of them ones.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
he not one of them.
I mean, they did try it. I feel like Tupac and him had a beef.
I did hear about that.
And so I feel like that was a whole thing.
Yeah, he was dating not Rashida. He was dating Quincy's daughter.
Yeah. And so Quincy just had to be like, you know what?
And Quincy did not
I'm
like
gonna
him.
make a magazine Vibe or the source or the source or something. I can't. Which is it? The source or Vibe?
His Vibe.
Yeah, I'm gonna just make this, and then like made a We Are the World, but for rap. Y'all remember like that? It was like a whole album.
Yeah. I don't remember that. I thought it was a song, but I do remember he got like all the greatest whatever rappers at that time or era. Was that? Yeah, that was the rap. Yeah.
He even had a sit down, like, bro. Like, he had like a meeting on some like, yo, why y'all killing each other type shit.
Yeah. I don't know if that
Quincy
was that.
Jones
Is that
is
true?
bro.
Did he have that?
Bro, it was. I remember in the documentary, like it was like literally like a banquet joint.
Sure did. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Yep, you're right. He did
Listen,
have like a
bro,
little
Quincy,
car.
Quincy was out here, bro.
Cause he was
Tell
doing
that man to
doing
shut up,
something.
bro.
Yeah, I
What?
heard
That's
some
crazy.
wild stories, about some Tupac, some wild Quincy and Tupac stories that I would not.
That would be interesting.
Hey, bro, got man inside information.
I do not get
Right, he
inside.
like,
I do not
I
get
was there
inside
the night
information.
of. Like, damn.
I do not get inside information. I just used to be a weird person.
Damn, Quincy was a weird person.
I don't know, bro.
Look,
Quincy
he
is
was-
Quincy is a great producer.
Right,
Bro.
bro. Already
Great man.
fucking up his legacy, bro. Damn, man.
Nah, I feel like Quincy probably did some questionable things.
I definitely think, yeah, but we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna talk about
Yeah,
this.
y'all
Man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like even when you watch the documentary and like when you hear him speak, like he addresses those things and be like, yeah, that was.
I don't think he addresses them. I think he knows
just,
that
I think he just admits like, yeah,
I did some fucked
yeah,
up.
I was out here.
You know what I'm saying? I just respect him. I mean, he don't got to go into detail.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I just respect, him being like, yeah, I was not. You know what I'm saying?
Quincy would be on some like, yeah, I was a knucklehead when I was younger or some shit.
No, go ahead. He was something, bro. But he was also a great artist, a great creative.
Bro, I feel like I really want to do a deep dive on this catalog, like the Quincy Jones,
Bro.
just what I'm saying, just his name on the front, junts.
His junk.
Yeah.
Hey,
feel like-
the Austin Powers junk was like his big, like one of his bigger hits. The Bossa Nova, whatever junk.
Crazy,
He did. Hold on,
bro.
Austin Powers.
What?
Yeah, he with the junk, the Ludacris sample for
Oh wow.
Bro, his catalog is
Interesting.
his
Dang.
catalog is crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He got some like his solo junks. He definitely got some like whatever this era is like diamond type situations. He got some of them, but
Bro, this man had hits in like every era of his life.
Yeah.
Type shit. Like, that's crazy. Every like
Dang,
decade.
did he have hits in the last? From
feel
I guess from 2014 to now,
I mean, it's just
2013.
shit,
Now.
Michael shit still growing and still.
Yeah, but I'm saying, did he
Did
do
new
anything
shit.
new?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
He did. He was mentoring, probably the most creative artist of our generation right now, which was Jacob Collier.
Yeah,
Like he was
he's
definitely
crazy, too.
like, obviously Jacob Collier is doing his thing, but he was a direct mentor. Like it was like he might have been signed to him type
Signed
situation.
his life away. We gotta get into that, bro. We just on some more shit, bro.
He finna make this man out to be Diddy and
Listen,
shit.
bro. Listen, bro. These niggas is amazing for a reason.
Nah, bro. Man, I do wanna talk about the internship joint. Just the importance of it, man. Since we are coming up. I think the internship, the deadline will be scheduled for the 24th, 12 a.m. I just want to talk about like the importance of just being around like-minded people, man. The environment, how important that plays. I know I can speak personally, like just once I joined the internship and like being around this space on the regular, just the mindset changed.
If you could speak to it, bro, like paint a picture on what you feel like your trajectory was pre-internship and post-internship. Like what the difference would have been. Like had you not joined the internship, had you not done this internship,
Yeah.
what do you think would have been the trajectory of like your career?
I think the
versus
I think the biggest thing that's it's a fact. It's not necessarily even. It plays a part into my career and where it's going, because I think it's just more so the mentality. I can definitely say there's a different level of confidence that I have within myself, a different type of standard that I hold for myself since joining the internship. And I think it's just the being more intentional. I feel like beforehand that there was so many things that I was doing that I was I was locked into of still just hopeful. and feeling like, oh, I'm talented, it's going to work out for itself type of situation versus understanding like, yeah, you can be talented, but you have to be intentional about how you move, um, just about how you deliver your message. Like actually learning to take myself as a brand, um, what that can translate for my career.
Yeah.
Like those were a lot of things that I can honestly say I wasn't necessarily thinking about before the internship, um, and I feel like that helped a lot because that made me just be more selective of how I move, who I work with, just the type of projects I am um, shooting for versus just I feel like beforehand I was like on some let's just work with any and everybody.
Mm.
And in this city, at least from what I experienced, that doesn't work. Because again, there's a lot of talent out here, and you can get lost in the talent and the potential. Um, and that was definitely me before the internship because I was like, oh no, they dope. But I think joining the internship, getting through the internship, being around you all, being around Mad, and just seeing how y'all approach y'all day to day, um, it forced me to understand like the value of my time. Um, yeah, and just the value of me. I think that's the biggest thing that I've gained from the internship, and it's definitely have like shifted just my perspective of my end goal for my career. Uh, yeah,
Mm.
that was the biggest take that I've gained so far.
And what do you think was like the mechanisms or the characteristics of an internship, maybe in general, or this, or just with unapologetic specifically, if you think it's unique, that you think led to that. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Like how could you, like, as we're talking about this, because I feel exactly what you're saying. I feel like I have a similar jump, but like when you thinking about like, okay, how to explain that, you know what I'm saying? Because I guess I want to know, how do you think about like why intern for that change versus like just listening to you say that and then being like, oh, okay, bet, and then let me just go
I feel like
figure it out.
the internship is the best and quickest situation, honestly, to allow, especially more so specifically this internship, unapologetic internship. It forces you to find who you are faster, and if you really want to do this or not. Because again, before the internship, when you're going throughout this process and in this city, you're just linking up and working with creative people. You don't necessarily go through the standards, the pressure of actually trying to make something great and not just on some like, oh yeah, we're just linking up and we're creating. Like it's creating with intention and creating under that pressure because we do understand, as Matt say, like we eat what we hunt. Um, and if you're really trying to make a living off of this, like it's a different mindset that's needed. Um, so yeah, I would say this internship specifically because I've I- I've been around other people, other teams and stuff, but it seems like there's always a there's always a lack of accountability.
Mm.
Whether that's because of their friendships and they don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or whatever like that. I First thing I notice here, like we all love each other enough, we all respect each other enough, but we all are going to hold each other accountable and deal with how that feels in the moment. We're going to talk about it, and as family, we're going to move through that. There's so many dynamics in the city that I've been around and seen and been a part of. Well, that's not the case in situations where I'm looking at them and I'm like the only one that's about to speak up, and everybody else like, no, it's like creating excuses for these things, which to me, at the time, I can honestly say, looking back, I would notice these things, but because I was the only one, I didn't feel empowered enough to truly speak on a lot of these things. It got to a point to where I felt like I stopped myself from being as confident and speaking on certain things just because of the environment of people's egos or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and being involved in this internship instantly like let me know like no, you have to trust you, trust how you move, and just be prepared for whatever come with it. Like I feel like that's part of being an adult, part of being a man or whatever the case. But I'm more so speaking on like the importance of your environment because even if you are aware of these things, you can be in an environment to where your confidence or these things aren't necessarily held up. The accountability part of it, and you again, I found myself pushing myself further and back within certain situations that I would initially speak on, then over time realize that I wasn't speaking on anymore. Whether it been from me feeling like I'm out of place, or me being tired of it, or whatever, or just not having the confidence to speak on it. Versus now, it's like going through the internship and being around y'all. Is like, no, if you see some shit fucked up, say something.
Yeah.
If something's off, whatever it may be, even if you look stupid, say it because overall, like you being you, speaking how you speak, is going to spark something or it's going to correct something. Um, but yeah, man, it's just different when you're around people that value not just your talent but value you. And that I feel like no matter who you are, no matter the skill set, the skill level you come in at this internship, I feel like overall it's understood that you're a person, and we value that. And then the skills and the ideas that comes next. I feel because again, it's character over everything. Like it's not skills over everything. It's not talent over everything. Like who you are as a person really matters.
Yeah.
And if you're around people that don't necessarily understand that or value that, you can definitely like, man, go off into the wrong path somewhere. So yeah, I think for me, outside of all of the skills, the technical stuff I've learned, I think for me that was the biggest difference once I like joined the internship versus before I was.
What about you, C Mage? What do you feel like because I know you started out as an intern, like what is the thing that you feel like you can gain not just from your experience but as an intern but as your experience as a OG now? What do you feel like?
I said I'm old.
I said you're an OG. Man is old. What do you feel like is like the reason? What type of person and what reason would somebody want to intern with Unapologetic?
Yeah.
That you feel like
From my experience, if I had to sell it like that, is I thought, well, I knew I had a lot to learn, but there's so many things that you can learn. There's so many. If you're looking at it like a destination, it's like 80 roads that you can take, 80 plus. It's a lot of roads that you can take, and I honestly didn't know like which one. Like, what do I want to attack? Like, what do I want to master? What do I want to? What am I already good at? Like, what am I? And I feel like with my internship here, I was, especially first starting, just having people around me, like LJ was saying, just having people around me that had high integrity. Also, were just very observant. Like everybody around around this squad and team are just highly like observant, adaptive people. And we talk about what we observe. And so I was able to, just from talking with Kid, Mad, off from all of it, I was just able to quickly adapt my superpower. I had no idea like some of the things that I was good at. I had no idea some of the things I was bad at either. Like I was just doing stuff, doing things, and it was my natural. Like this is what I do. And then somebody would be like, "Oh no, that's special." And then I would figure out how to, all right, now this is what I need to. How do I make it on purpose? Like how do I make And I did that in a lot of things. It wasn't just music. Like I learned how to learn. I was already a good learner. Like that's how I made it through life. I wasn't young when I was an intern. Like I was out of college when I started an internship here, and so I wasn't a young person. So I had made it, pretty decent at just learning and picking up stuff on my own. Um, and then I learned that not everybody can do that, and then I started focusing on how do I get better at this. And so I would say it just helped me figure out my superpower, and then on some, I'm an anime nigga now because I be watching anime. So just on some that type shit, I was able to like hone in and focus my my power or whatever, my will on brandishing and sharpening those things. But it definitely helped me get to it quicker, and it helped me apply it to more than just music. I didn't do much music related stuff during my internship. A lot of stuff was learning. I was just trying to be a asset to the team, so I was trying to learn whatever. I learned how to program lights for shows. I learned how to make a stage plot. I learned how to route cables. I was just trying to figure out whatever. And so I just was able to see how to, and now I have a this is a super tangent, but now I have a job that I don't necessarily like having a job, but it's a good job that's helping me do some of the things I want to do. And I applied those same things to that as well. And it's a bit of a like tangent in what I want to do in life, but also it's fueling a lot of what I'm trying to do now. And so yeah, it's just little things like that, just learning those, and then learning how to apply it in various areas. This was a supercharge to that.
Dang, yo, LJ. Okay, so the lights thing was crazy. I remember that era, bro. We was getting ready for Brenner.
We both were sitting there reading the manual, trying to figure out.
Yeah, bro. But now you do that, like you get money off that now.
Yeah,
like,
killing.
The C majors are like light technician, light specialist. He can paint a room, and he's got vision and the technical know how to do it. I be trying to keep up just because I just be liking to know how to do that stuff. But C Mage is like the dude, you know what I'm saying? It's really inspiring because I just remember we was sitting literally at the pool table, like, all right,
these just want to turn on. Like, how the fuck do these just turn on?
Yeah, and now this man is understanding whole systems. I'm like, yo, should we get this? And it's just very encouraging to like not only be around people who are excited about learning, but like I can see the story too. Like I remember when you didn't know that. Like there's a lot of that with Mad. It's like, yo, I remember when you did not. When you was like, yo, I gotta figure this out. And now people are paying him tens of thousands of dollars to do these same things. I watched him sit down and be like, yo, I gotta figure this out. And that is the energy. Like tens of thousands of dollars get thrown around because of these mindsets. And this is the culture of this place. And so, the opportunities, you know what I'm saying, fly. And that culture, I can say from experience, is not prevalent everywhere.
It's not.
And therefore, like, you don't even if the opportunities come, you don't even have the, like, mindset to get there. And you're not prepared for them as well because, like, that's not a culture that is common. Especially not in this city, if you're in this city.
Yeah, you don't just wake up and now you're prepared for it. Like,
or know to get prepared, or have the energy to. And sometimes you need that energy because you don't always feel like doing stuff. Everybody's not a self-starter every day.
Right.
And so, like, when you need that extra 20%, when the 80 is not enough, not doing it, you come into Unapologetic, come into outer space, and you're going to find me there. You're going to find C Mage. You're going to find Mad right here. And it's like, all right, yeah, let's get it. So yeah, tell people where to reply.
I would, of course, you got to apply through the Unapologetic World app. Yeah, man. Again, the deadline is the 24th at 12 a.m. After
Midnight Marauder 2 at the Museum of Science and History. The last one was a huge success. You can go and get tickets. So head to Masha's website, go to the events. And please purchase a ticket. I would love to see y'all there. It's going to be dope. So, his last one was crazy.
Yeah,
Open Ox is opening soon. Be on the lookout. Yeah.
We got a lot of shit going on. And before that, of course, we got the homie, man.
You heard what I said, bro?
Yeah.
Once again, Wands. Oh, yeah. Do I get to show You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm ruining the surprise, but you know what I'm saying?
Exclusive. Like,
When you purchase anything before or after the show, it will come in this nice custom Wands bag.
fire.
This is fresh.
It's
Bruh.
fresh as hell, bro.
He
The
been
pink
going
is crazy.
He been going
Very
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah.
And also, you know what I'm saying? Did we show this on the last stream?
I think
he did.
I think
He did?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, because he said put it in your car, like air fresh.
Okay, okay,
yeah,
bet,
okay, yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Y'all know what it is, bro. Mad Black. You know this studio. Our studio is sponsored in part. This podcast is sponsored in part by Coffee Black, and man, I Make Mad Beats and Coffee Black have partnered up and created this vision and celebration of wands. One day we're gonna disappear, but while we're here, Mad Black. It's a blend of passion fruit, notes of chocolate, strawberry, and I tried it for the first time yesterday. It's pretty good, right? And it's
it
really
smells amazing.
and it's
It gotta
unique.
be
It
good.
smells great. But it will be available in limited quantities. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity to grab a bag of this. So you know what I'm saying? Wands, November 16th at the Planetarium. Please get your tickets. Hit the Unapologetic World app. Hit I Make Mad. And honestly, bro, you don't want to miss. If you're not following I Make Mad Beats, which you know most of our listeners are, but if you're not, man, this man is really redefining what a rollout looks like, man.
Crazy.
And like it is super inspiring. It is super creative, and just make sure that you are paying attention to the show. It's been 2 weeks of this, and this coming week is gonna be even crazier. And I don't know if I can reveal what's going to happen, but please make sure you are following I Make Mad Beats
Yeah, for sure.
on social media. So, yeah, I
Tap
think
in.
that's it, man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. This has been Tight Beat, a producer podcast at Outer Space and Unapologetic Studio. Yeah, this has been a great talk. I am Kid Maestro, and behind me there is a
C major, a producer that don't want to talk.
LJ1S, what up?
A producer that doesn't wholly disagree with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck that nigga.
Say, shut the fuck up, make some beats, nigga.
Nah, nigga. Talk your shit.
yeah, and this has been Tight Beat. I'll see y'all. Oh no, this is what he say. No, that's what I say. That's what I say. That's what I say. Stay safe, stay dangerous, or do neither.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Type shit.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.